morning, everyone, and welcome back to Barnstable this morning. Just about 10 minutes past the top of the hour on this Monday morning. I'm Sarah Colvin, and joining me live in studio, Town Manager Tom Lynch. Tom, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Well, whenever there's a Patriots victory, it seems to set a tone for the week. And
It does.
as you pointed out, they do seem to be on fire. And it's whoever steps in, steps up. And
That's
it was
right.
really, you know, they're all nervous about we had to face, you know, 3 good quarterbacks in a row. We've got another one next week, but it's you know, we seem to be coping all along the way. So
Absolutely. Well, I know when the Patriots win, my household is much happier.
exactly.
So we like,
This is
we
just
like to
just
see
a mood,
that.
just a
For
mood.
sure. So lots of stuff to talk about today. Of course, we have a large Brazilian population here in town, really contributing to our town, and now the Brazil New England Chamber of Commerce is the newest thing that's set up, and you got a chance to meet with them last week.
Well, on Friday I met with 5 members of the Brazil New England Chamber of Commerce that trying to get started down here on the Cape. They're located right now out of Framingham. They're working in Somerville and a couple of towns out in the Boston area, and they also want to work on Cape Cod. And it was very interesting to hear about their mission. You know, they're trying to, as they say, promote opportunities for the development of new businesses through networking, and you can see that I'm going to need my glasses to finish this. Networking, mentorship, workshops, and seminars, and they want to help Brazilian businesses compete in today's marketplace. So they talked about, you know, being a bridge between the businesses and the town government and other organizations. So through Lynn Poyant's office, we put together a meeting with the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce. We had Mike Travato there, and they had local business people as well as representatives from the Brazil area, you know, New England Chamber of Commerce. So I found that, you know, they started off by saying, you know, what's out there that, you know, we could work together on. So they clearly want to have a partnership both with the town and with the other chambers around. So our discussion pretty much focused on ways that they, you know, could interact with the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, not recreate many of the workshops and seminars and things that we all were discussing. And I think one thing that they talked about was, which was, you know, informative for me, is the nature of the Brazilian business person on the Cape, how long they've been here. You know, we thought that, you know, a lot of members of the Brazilian community would earn money here, send it back. We're here then to go back home later, but it's a different picture. You know, many of these individuals and businesses have been here for 20 years. This is their home. They want to be a part of things that are going on. So I suggested that, you know, being a part of Inside Barnstable Town Government and learning about town government, and there were workshops that we could certainly put on
Absolutely.
for them. Chris Davis from the Cape Cod Chamber really wanted to get Wendy Northcross involved and have them sit down there, because there are many programs that they do for business people that I think are some of the same issues that they'd be looking on with this Brazil Chamber of Commerce networking. So, and then of course Mike Travato was there, and with his past relationship in the chamber and now working with us as an economic development specialist, there were lots of ways that we thought we could interact. So tonight there's a meeting that is going to be held at the Brazilian Grill. I'm going to go over to it and try to let them know that our town is very welcoming of all kinds of you know, businesses, new businesses, and groups that are seeking to figure out how they can interact better with town government. So
Great.
I'm looking forward to a meal at the Brazilian Grill.
Always good.
And also hearing about some of their hopes and dreams. And so that was a very productive meeting that I was pleased to be able to host and get involved in.
Great. Big part of the economic picture, I think, here in Barnstable.
You know, like any group that once they get further and further established, they see the struggles they had to get going. They see their fellow business people out there. And one of the businessmen, Alex, who owns a carpet cleaning business, he said that he has a group of about 20 businesses that get together every week. And I said, that's a lot of dedication to come in every week to look and talk about things. And one of the other individuals runs an accounting business, and he talked about, the number of clients they have and how it all works. So there are lots of ways that we can work together, and that I'm sure the chambers will want to work together. So.
Great. Let's talk a little bit about the Barnstable Land Trust.
I had a chance on Friday evening to go over to their annual meeting, and one reason I went is that they were honoring Tom Mullen, who's been a very long-serving board member, has done everything from cleaning the trails out in the pathways out in land owned by the Land Trust to being president for a couple of years. So they gave him the Founders Award, and he made an awfully nice speech about the importance of the partnership that a land trust has with the town through the Cape Cod Land Bank and other initiatives that this town has been participating in. We've saved a lot of open space, and we work with partners like the Land Trust. They've celebrated over 1,000 acres that they've set aside now, and there are lots of trails. They connect other trails that are around. They're very, Jackie Barton, the executive director, is very adept at using various funding sources. We've worked with them on a variety of projects, and she highlighted those from 2013 and 14, as well as talk about what they're going to do in 14 and 15 in terms of preservation projects. The biggest one they have on the table is working to preserve land around the Lowell Park. There's 19 acres out there that they have a chance to purchase, and they're going to, the town is going to participate in that. We can help get additional buffer land around the ball field out there that we presently own. So they're good partners of us. They've been around a long time. They've got good leadership. John Miller was newly elected president, and you can just see that they've had a sustained commitment to maintaining open space and show the value of that to our community. So that was certainly a nice evening. And then, of course, on a negative note over the weekend, there was the fire at Cromwell Court, and I went over and looked at the damage that was there, spoke to a family that had been smoked out. They weren't directly impacted by of course they were directly impacted, but their house wasn't destroyed in the fire. As you can see in the photo that's up there now, the workers were there already shoring it up. That development is owned and managed by a nonprofit.
Right.
It was a federally subsidized project when it went in, and the people that the management that owns a very good company, and I think that they will, work very closely to help with relocation efforts. But a lot of displacement, a lot of disruption in people's lives. During my staff meeting this morning, I'll be talking about ways that we can participate in making that process go more smoothly. But as when I was talking to a couple of the police officers on scene, who had participated in the evening before, handling the calls and getting people right out there. The fire alarm seemed to be working. People were orderly in getting out of the building. There was a lot of anxiety, but they were able to, the fire department got there quickly, extinguish it, and to the best of our knowledge, there was no serious injuries that occurred, and so that's the good news, but there's going to be a huge cleanup and a huge renovation project now.
Absolutely, so. Absolutely. And then next week, we're looking to the fee hearing, and can you tell me just a little bit about that fee hearing? What's that all about?
I will be conducting a fee hearing this Wednesday. We have a lot of fees that we use to operate enterprise accounts or other fees that we charge, and each year the departments will submit those fees. We have a public hearing where they justify the merits for why they might need a fee increase or a decrease. We've had the golf fees have gone up and down, so we'll hear all those fees are on the website if people want to study them in advance. I take all that information in, listen to the comment that's there. Then over the next few weeks, we'll look at them and then approve, disapprove, or amend the fees in some way that are under my control. There are also fees that go before the town council, and we'll be hearing them. Those are normally fees that take place at the start of the fiscal year, so they may take those up, you know, in early to late winter. So it's always, you know, a difficult process because you want to be very careful and make sure that the dollars that are being asked for to provide the service are equal. And so I'll be looking very carefully at those and working with staff on that. And we can have a discussion about that next week.
We sure will. Well, Tom, I thank you so much as always for joining us here on Barnstable this morning. Have a great week, and we will talk with you next Monday.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much. More to come. Mary Chakowski, Superintendent of Schools, is next. But first, send you out to look at that rainy morning in Katuitt. We'll be back with more Barnstable.